everybody. So good to see you. I'm I'm coming to you from my lounge room. This one's a pre-recorded Hooray, it's Thursday for you. The reason being is I'm enjoying myself in sunny Cairns. Well, it better be sunny. I'm hoping it's sunny. Today it's 26 up there, but I don't leave till tomorrow. So I thought I talked to you about last week about the other watercolor techniques. So one of them, oh, what did I do with that piece? One of them is using our spritzers. Now, you can get our spritzers. I'll open the catalogue. I think I was telling you can get 2 spritzers. They're found here on page 119. This is these little spritzers here. You get 2 of them. Whoopsie. 2. I'm sorry about the shadows. It's actually getting quite dark. Get 2 of these in each packet. And the spritzers are $10.50 for 2. So they're just over $5 each. They're really handy. You can also put alcohol in them. If you wanted to mix a little bit of color in them, you could put some color in them as well. Fill it with water, put 1 drop in it, that sort of stuff. So the choice is yours. I'll just pop this here so that you can see when I'm actually talking at you and you're not just looking at my hands, but that's okay. So we're going to do some Spritz blitzing. Oh, Spritz Bliss, they called it. So what I thought, I haven't made the card. I've prepared one piece for you, and there's a reason why. We'll just get started. So I'll pop this away. Okay, so one of the things it says about the spritzing is there's a few things that you can do. And this is a piece of our Fluid 100 paper that I showed you earlier. Now, I've actually had this sitting here for a couple of hours so that it could dry. But if you want it to dry faster, then what you can do is hit it with your heat gun. Now, you need to make sure it's a gentle dry so that it stays nice and flat. So you'll see, because I've dried this just sitting on my table, it's stayed nice and flat. But I'll show you how I did that. So I've got a few colors on the table. The only stamp pad I've got is that. The only stamp out that I've got is that one. So I've cut my Fluid 100 paper. It's actually the scrap from last week. Brought over my brush butterflies. What you need to do is, first up, you need to do this bit. And that's because this bit needs to dry. Okay, so there's a couple of things, different ways that you can do that. I'll just move this one out of the way so we don't get it wet. The spritzer is not like the water. The spritzer actually does the lefty loosey righty tighty. It's correct, so you don't have to worry about that. But what you do have to make sure is this here's where it comes out of. As you know, don't aim it at yourself. I'm really good at that. You can wet your paper first. I've got this on the glass mat, so the water's quite nice on the glass mat. So I've just wet the paper a little bit myself first. I'm stamping my stamp. I'm putting some old olive on my stamp pad. Now, what you will need is, this is going to get a bit globular and a bit wet, and that's okay, but I want to put it in the ink again. So just grab it. This is just a Norwex cloth that I keep here. So just grab it again, and all right, it's just you don't want to stick the bits of water in there. Now, they're all going to look different. It's not running very much, so come back in with a little bit more water. Now, it's up to you how much water you put on it. It's up to you whether you wiggle it around, what you do. Might put some more leaves down here. And then if you want to, if it's running too much, you can dab it over a little bit with your cloth, or paper towel will work the same. But then we want to dry this. Okay, so that piece there is going to get put aside. Now, you'll notice that it does have a curve to it, but if you put it on a nice flat surface, it will dry and dry back again flat. Some people will put, with their watercolor paper, they'll put tape around all the edges, and that's okay as well. And it holds it nice and flat. It gives it no choice but to stay flat as it dries. But as you can see from this one here, it's dried quite nicely. Okay, so to get this, I did that. All right. So it just depends on how much ink you put on it as to how dark your lines are, but it all works out quite nicely. And you'll notice up here in this top corner, there's a bit of light shining on this. This top corner, it wasn't as wet up there. Now, I could do it again. The choice would be mine, but we'll see how we go. Let's make a card with it though. So first things first, this is Blackberry Bliss that I pulled in here, and I'm just going to fold and score it, fold and burnish it with my bone folder. This is the beautiful Thoughtful Wishes. Thoughtful Wishes is the stamp set that I'm using at retreat in a couple of weeks. That's in July. Okay, I still have a couple of seats left if anyone is interested. I've got a scrap of the paper from last week. I've got some gold. I've got some more Blackberry Bliss, and this one here is Mossy Meadow. Now, I know that I used Old Olive on my ink, and that's okay. They all go together. So what we're going to do is I might just pop this and the inside to the side. Okay, and I'm actually going to, in the dies for this, where are they? They're over here. There's some really, really pretty dies. This one, for example, is really nice. Oh, it's got a couple of bits left in it, but that's okay. But the other one that I really like in there is this guy here, which is like a thistle. Oops, where's it going? Come here. And this guy here. So these two work quite nicely together. So I'll show you how they go. And I'm thinking in some gold. I might just do a little bit of gold because gold always looks pretty on it. We'll see. I'll see what I need. So these are essentially the only ones I'm not going to use. Oh, no, I'm not going to use that one either. Okay, so let's get a couple of bits here. Oops, here's my gold. Because my cut and emboss machine needs new it needs new plates. I've just been doing that with that. This one here, I need this. And I'm thinking that I might use that too. I don't think I can get both on it. If I can get both on it, I will. Yep, I can. And this one's going in Blackberry Bliss. Okay, so let's get all these bits cut out to start with. I'll just move that out of the way so it doesn't get damaged. Okay, cut and emboss machine is currently 10% off. This bundle is currently 10% off. And yeah, so it's been a really, really popular promotion, this one. So much so that quite a few bundles have gone out of stock. So you need to be aware that it's a first in best dress. Once they've got an allocated number that they've got, and anything that doesn't get back into Australia before the end of the month and back into the online store won't be available for this sale. So 10% off further off your bundles, 10% off your big shot, your big cut and emboss machine, and 10% off your mini. Okay, so just move those ones to the side. Okay, I shouldn't have put that away because I forgot that I hadn't cut the other bits. So I want that one. I may not use this little one, but I think I'll use the leaves. And I definitely will use this one. Okay. All right. And through that one goes. Now I've done enough with this. So from a twine option, we've got a couple of different options. So there's a really nice, did you cut out properly? Yeah, you look pretty good. There's a really nice packet of baker's twine. It's all different colors. However, I really love the linen thread. I did like it when it came on a flat thing, but I like it just as much now. Doesn't matter that it comes on a different one. All right, you will need to take your pick tool, which mine keeps developing legs today because there's only half of it here. I've taken the end off it and I've put it somewhere safe, for want of a better way of saying that. Okay, so now you know the pretty paper that goes with this. I've got taken some inspiration from that, and because I'm casing the catalogue, you'll find that there's a blog that also features this card, but I didn't add the video to it, so I'll go back and add the video to the hop. But there is a blog hop with people that I've joined the case the catalogue, so you're welcome to have a sticky at that. I will add the link in there. You see how that just joins together quite nicely there, and so that's that bit, and then this bit's just going to pop out. I don't know if I'll use this bit yet, but I just really like it. It's such a pretty die. So it's just got quite a few bits that pop out. Make mess of my table. Find them on the floor. Find them stuck to the dog. A bit like the dimensional backs. It's funny where you find those. I've found some of those in the weirdest places. Actually, when we were, there was a Stampin' Up event I went to once, and I just thought it was funny that the hotel we stayed in, Milson's Point, there was a fair few of us, probably more than just me, putting our swaps together at the last minute in the hotel. What happened to oh, they must still be in there. And of course, dimensional backs go everywhere. About a week later, on one of the pages I belong to, someone shared that they were staying at said hotel for work, and they found a dimensional back on the floor. And that's where a week after we'd been there. And she put on, who's been in such and such a room, and why were you doing your swaps at the last minute? I found your dimensional backs. So it was a bit of fun. Makes you worry about the room cleaning, but those things, I don't know, they're the gift that keeps giving. You find them forever and ever, and I reckon that I'm not the only one. And I'm going to start noticing that your guys are going to comment that that's the case. So, because I presume, so I put a little bit of glue on the back because I presume that you guys are going to watch this on, because essentially I'm loading it to go on the day that it should go. Oopsie. Just jimmy them into position because they're just covering up that twig. You're going to watch this on the day that it goes live, so that's okay. I'll have it ready for you. But it is a bit darker here than it normally is when I do my live, so hence the shadow. And then there you go, like that bit's all put together. See, to me it reminds me of thistles. It's not, I know it's not thistles, but it does, it still reminds me of thistles, but that's okay. All right, so that can go up there. So now where's this? Here's this bit I've prepared earlier. You can cut it out with decorative frames, you can cut it out, do whatever it is that you want with it, but I'm actually not going to cut it out at all. It's going to be my feature piece. So this piece here, oh boy, too much happening. I didn't bring an envelope over. That's what I forgot. So imagine that you've done some leaves with the envelopes, okay? And yes, I am still doing a video. So I'm just going to pop some leaves in here just because I really like these leaves. And that's what I'll put on my envelope as well. And yeah, okay. So I'll do that. All right. Here's Miss Maeve. She's come to say hello.
Hello.
All right. And this is my Winker Stella. I'm just going to give those a bit of a colour with a Winker Stella just to make them pretty. And look at them, Maeve. They get all glittery. How cool is that? All right. So anyone that's coming to the retreat, please bring your Winker Stella because I love doing this. So, all right. And we'll just pop this here. Just gives them a little bit of pretty. All right. Okay. And it's all happening here. We're trying to get ready to go away. I'm making videos, ignoring Tony. It's all good. Now, I am going to be popping a piece of this probably that way across the front there. So that's my inside done. I'm just putting it to the side. Try and make sure it goes somewhere that that's not going to get wet, for want of a better word. Now, the leaves, because there's such a big gap all the way around, just one ink pad, Old Olive, doesn't matter. You can just see it. You guys can actually, that's interesting, you guys can see it better than I can. All right, so okay, so that's all the way around there. Now I want to bring this guy back in because I've wet that and they look really wishy-washy. I'm going to put these over the top of it, and because this bit here is going to sit over here, I can actually go like so, because that is going to cover my sticky bits, for want of a better word. All right. Okay, and then I might pull in just a little bit of leaf over here. So it just gives it a bit of, it colours the leaves for you. Now, if you wanted to, you could come in and you could colour the leaves yourself as well. I am going to colour them a little bit with my Winker Stella. And I'm going to bring up some of this ink that's here, okay? Just to give them, make them that little bit darker. Now, if you wanted them not so dark, you wanted to push them around a bit more, you could and you could use water. You don't need to use a Winker Stella. It's just that I'm using a Winker Stella on the inside, so I figured why not use a Winker Stella on the front. All right. And it just gives them a little bit of bling as well. And I mean, I don't know about you, but you can never have too much bling. And I love Winker Stella because it's in a pen and you can't make a mess. And who doesn't love glitter that you can't make a mess with? But like, look how it just makes that background, it looks like you're sort of stepping in and going back a little bit further into your picture, doesn't it? It's just pretty, for want of a better way of putting it. Okay, and there, and there. Oh, my table's all pretty and glittery as well. My glass mat. And just because it's up here and I'm just going to add a little bit of wink to that one up there too. Okay. So before I do anything else though, I am going to give this a bit of a wipe down. All right. So on here, we've got a couple of sentiments. And I'm thinking, last time I showed you Dearest, did I put Dearest Friend on one? I don't know. I don't think Thinking of You Fondly will fit on here. Oh, yep, it does. Let's do Thinking of You Fondly. Yeah. Okay, so we need a block. And I did bring over my Blackberry Bliss. And you know what? Let's use that colour. Don't look too closely at it. That's a dreadful ink pad. It's seen better days, this ink pad. Okay. Oops, I got two here. Thinking of you fondly. Is as crooked as a dog's hind leg. Okay. What did I show you last week? So that you can see how crooked your stamp is. Okay. It's just a little bit off. That's better. Okay. Let's get rid of that. Snips. If I do this, and then I do this. So if I cut straight into the middle, by rights, it'll just fall out. So thinking of you fondly. Now, if you wanted to, and you wanted to put a little bit of colour around the edge, if you've got a blending brush anywhere here on the table, you could make it work, add a bit of colour to it, and just put a bit of colour around the edge. You can also do it around the edge of this one. All right. Now that it's dry, I can add a little bit of colour around the edge, especially those bits up there that didn't end up with any wishy-washy bits. Okay. And you could do it to the inside as well if you wanted to, just to carry it through. Okay, so I'll just put that aside because I ended up putting my hand in stuff before. So now we've got our Blackberry Bliss that's been stamped, in this case with Old Olive. You can stamp it with whatever you like. You can stamp it tone on tone. You could stamp it with Blackberry Bliss. It would still look pretty smeared. But because I did Old Olive, it's going to be a little bit darker. This piece here is going to sit quite nicely on there by itself. Now I have to decide whether I'm putting on the leaves or the stripes, and I'm sitting and leaning towards the stripes. Now I will be making them a bit bigger than this piece here. So I'll just grab my trimmer. If you had something that you're 8.5 centimeters, so let's make this at about 9.5, just so that it's got 0.5 centimeter on each side. If you had something that was Blackberry Bliss color, that would be really lovely. So because I've got a couple of these little babies, I could put some of these on here as well, like a cluster of goodies. Come here, baby. This one's actually going to go on top. I think we need to take that one out. I don't think that one's going to work. And that's going to go like so. Okay. But I'm also going to put on here some twine. Okay, that bit's going to come down a bit further. I just had to decide where I was putting the twine. And now I know, so I can glue this piece down. And that's the other reason why it's important to make sure you wait until it's really dry, because you can't glue it down until it's really dry. But also you can't stamp on it the second time until it's really dry. Okay, make sure it's nice and square. Okay. Now, this piece is going to go here, but it's going to have a couple of rows of twine on it, I think, is what I'm thinking. Now pop this on. The easiest way to do that is to go like so. Okay, and we'll have another piece of this. Okay, so I wanted some twine to go across here. This one here is actually going to go here like so. Should have cut that in gold, but that's okay. Now, some of you would have watched from another video before when I've done this. So what I want to do is I want to put a big messy knot. Big messy bow. So one of the ways that I do that is I just tie this on here. Like so. Now I've got a little hole there. I don't know if you can see. There's a little hole there. Now what I'm going to do with this bit is I'm actually going to wind it around my fingers. 1, 2, 3. This will be interesting, cutting left-handed. Where's my husband when I need him? Oh, no, I'm bad at that. Use these scissors. These are my serrated ones that I use when I need, desperately need. So I've got the two ends pinched in between the middle of my fingers. So now I'm just pinching it together. Pinch and twist. Shove it through that hole, that knot, for want of a better word, not a hole. And then pull it tight. So pull that knot tight and then tie it again. So that's going to give me this great big knotty sort of bowy thing, loopy, which is what I wanted, almost like a butterfly, but a bit messy. Okay, so now we can glue this on. This is going on flat, so I'll just trim these guys up here on the back here. Now normally I would leave my tear tape backing on, but I'm not going to this time. Okay, and the reason being is because I'm actually going to use it to help me stick this guy down. And remember, this bit's a little bit bigger than the other pieces, so I'll just put a bit of glue on here. And the reason why I've only put it in the middle is because I actually want to tuck, I think I want to tuck some stuff in, so, but I'm not sure. Just covering up that end bit of that tree branch. Got a few things stuck to me. Okay, this one's going on dimensionals, if I can find them. They are somewhere on the table. Here they are. I forgot that you can see the top of my head there, and you can see what I'm up to. And let's put these two bits here. Okay. Now I can, because of the way I've done that knot, I can move it closer to where my piece is there. And now I can trim up these bits there. Okay. It's looking pretty smicky if I do say so myself. So this piece here, if I wanted to, I could slip it in underneath there. You could colour it with your Wink of Stella. Actually, you might do that. Let's make all those little Blackberry Bliss flowers that are on the end of here sparkly. And then I do have this flower that I can add to the center. Now I might push out those bits. I was going to leave them in there, but they will look better pushed out. All right, so that's how I'm going to do that. So I'm going to add glue to this one down here. I'm not going to put it up too high because I'm okay with the fact that it actually sticks up a little bit. Okay, and somewhere on here are my leaves. So we'll stick those on. Just again, I'm putting a little bit of glue down in these bottom bits. Okay. And then I've got this piece here as well. But you know what? Now that I put those leaves on there, I don't think I want that on there. You know what? I don't. This piece is for something later, another project later. So what I also brought over with me, because I think this is such a pretty looking card actually, now that I've done it, is I brought over, remember the brushed brass butterflies that we've used on numerous other projects. I've got some of these left, so I'm thinking that this could use with just a little butterfly there, maybe one over here and one there. Okie dokie. What do you think? Do you like that one? Looks pretty good, doesn't it? If I do say so myself. So I'll just pop the inside in. So you can have some fun with some water. It's always fun to have with, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but even when I was a kid, water play was always fun. My kids absolutely loved water play. I saved it for preschool, I will admit. And then this one can go in here. And ta-da! So it just needs an envelope, but I'll do that after. And I'll catch up with all of you guys on the flip side of my trip. So let's just go back to me. Oops, no, there I go, disappeared. Here I am. So I will be live again next week. I will see you all then and have a fabulous weekend. Love to see some of your crafting if you're doing any. Keep in mind that we've only got about a week and a bit to go of the special with the extra 10% off. So if that's something that's on your wish list, or you've got, if there's something on your wish list that's stamp and die bundles or a mini cut and emboss or a big cut and emboss, make sure you get it before the end of the month. See you later. Bye.